Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Kevin with survivalistboards.com. Have the absolute pleasure of doing a Jaxman flashlight review. This is of the E2 with cool white. A representative from Jaxman contacted me on YouTube, asked me if I'd like to do a review. I'm like, sure, I'd love to do a review. Inside you get the flashlight, a couple extra O-rings, and a lanyard. Alright, let's take a look at this. Let's see what we got inside of here. It does not come with a battery, which is no big deal. Put a battery in there. Let's see here. Well, that's alright. Just turn it on. That's what I'm looking at, is you turn it on. That's a flat strobe. You got, so you just push it just for a second, and that's low, high, medium, strobe. The very first thing that comes to mind is a momentary on-off. I'd like to see just a momentary where you could just push the button and, well, I mean, have it on your rifle or something. Just on-off. There's no momentary. Let's get on with the specs and everything. Alright, so what do we got here? 4.35 ounces. 4.35. 4.35. Let's get a few dimensions here. We've got about 4 5/8 inches. And about almost 1 inch in diameter. Flip it over. Just about 1 inch in diameter. The Amazon page says that it's drop resistant to 2 meters. So let's check it out. 1, 2, 3, and I'm dropping it from a height of about 5 feet. 4, 5. Okay, looks good. Now for the water test. We've got the creek going here. We got some rain the other day. Real life situation, rather than throwing it in a bowl of water, throw it into the creek. There, it's tied off to the factory lanyard. And I don't know what time it is, but I'm gonna go look at the clock, and we're gonna leave it in there for about an hour. Hey Buster. Hey Butter. Alright guys, flashlight's been in there for about 45 minutes. Get the camera mounted on the tripod. Let's get that thing pulled in. Dry it off with my shirt. Okay. Now let's open it up and take a look inside the battery case. That's where I'm interested to see if any water got past the O-ring. And I do not. Well. Yep, I see a little bit of water. That's not good. Saw some water down inside there, guys. There's a little drop of water inside there. Some people say, man, well, Kevin, you gotta put some grease around that O-ring. Now, if the O-ring did its job, there'd be no water inside there. It's just all there is to it. And why we have rubber gaskets all the time that you put on, rubber gaskets on trucks or like wheel bearings or anything else. So, alright, I'm going to let it dry out, guys. And then we're going to finish the test after the flashlight gets dried out real good. hang on, stop. Oh man, let's see here. Get over in the shade. There, no, hang on. There it goes, guys. It works. All the brightness settings work. You know, I really didn't think much about throwing it out of the truck. Let's do it again. There we go. Now we're getting some good bouncing around on it. Oh, it came on. Flashlight came on. All right, that's good, Samantha. All right, let's go check it out. All right, let's see here. Yeah, that's better. That was better. I like that. All right, there we go. And it works. Yeah, that's a lot better, guys. I like that. See that flashlight bouncing around real good. All right. Yeah, it looks good. I like that. So guys, what do I think about the Jaxman E2 series? I've got some little mixed feelings about it. That it's available in 2 different bulbs. And what's confusing is that it is available in the Cree and the Nichia LED bulbs. LED lamps, using bulb as a generic term. With the Cree, it's 39 lumens, 220 lumens, and 580 lumens. The Chia is 20 lumens, 130, and then 350 lumens. But it's not marked on the flashlight to what bulb it has. It's just Jaxman E2. So is this the 350 lumen or the 580 lumen version? And so, open it up. And I've got the Nichia somewhere in here. I believe it says the Nichia. If you look at the box, it is the E2 cool white. The lack of a momentary on-off switch is also a minus. That should be standard on flashlights like this, in my opinion. Some of y'all are going to say, Kevin, well, Kevin, maybe it doesn't need momentary on-off, but I would like to see it. I mean, I would like to see if it's available. Why not do it? I mean, why not have it? Aluminum quality, the quality of the housing. I was very, very impressed with how well it handled the drag test. I mean, there's no deforming of the holes where the lanyard goes. There's the wing here, little guard, not deformed at all. The head is not deformed at all. I mean, that is just, it's probably one of the better flashlights that I've tested. As far as water leaking into it, that some of y'all are going to say, Kevin, well, you're supposed to put grease around there. And my opinion is that if it needs grease, what's the O-ring doing? If water's getting past the O-ring's not doing its job. The O-ring should sit good and tight up on that inside, and there should be no water that gets past that O-ring. But the flashlight is rated for IPX6, which is not submersible. It's spraying with water jets. If I understand it right, it's spraying with water jets, but it's not submersible waterproof. And so I'm happy with that. But why isn't this? I personally feel that it should be submersible waterproof for a couple of inches. I mean, it was only in the creek for 4 or 5 inches, and a little bit of water leaked into it. I wish the lanyard holes were just a little bit bigger so that whenever this lanyard breaks, or if I decide I want to replace it with a stronger lanyard, that it will go through there, replace it with some trot line string or something else, that I can get it through there. This is probably one of the better lanyards that I've seen on these flashlights, on these types of flashlights. A lot of these, this lanyard here, these cords are just very thin, and this is not that way. So what's my final verdict? What is my final verdict? That I can deal with no momentary on and off. I can deal with the water leaking because I know I'm not going to be taking it scuba diving. I'm not going to be taking it out on the lake, nothing like that. I think it's got a price of around $25 on Amazon, and for that, I feel that it's worth it. Simply, if the water leaking bothers you, if the lack of momentary on and off bothers you, this housing held up better in the drag test than any other flashlight I've seen. So just for the durability, the strength of the housing, that is, if you had to say one thing, what makes this flashlight worthwhile, what makes it worth the price, it is that this was drug behind a truck, over rocks, and it is barely scratched up. And that's what I think the one good point of the flashlight is, if I had to pick one.